Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about all the things that helped me be able to prepare myself for labor. I did a lot of things to help my mind and my body, and I just wanted to share that with you in case you're trying to go through labor without an epidural or just labor in general. I'm sure that would help as well. But I do think that when you are trying to do one without an epidural, you need a little more preparation, and so that's what I tried to do this last pregnancy. And I just want to share it with you. I'm going to start with meditations. I did this kind of guided meditation that I listened to on Bridget Taylor's YouTube channel. She has so many helpful videos. In fact, this is another tip. Go to her channel and look at all of her videos. They're so informative, they're so positive, they're so calm and very empowering, I think. And so she has great meditation videos. It's like affirmations that will help you kind of instill a mindset for giving birth in the future and for being prepared for it, for feeling empowered. And I just thought it was super helpful, so I listened to her meditations a lot because there were so many times that I would do it, especially if I was in a time where I was really doubting myself, if I thought I wasn't going to be able to give birth without an epidural, if I was scared of what I was going to feel in the future. Those are the times that I really went towards that, because you do not want to keep feeding your mind with all that. You need to put a stop to it. You need to fill it with the opposite of that. And it's helpful to be able to listen to her meditations. I just did it before I went to sleep. Even if I did fall asleep during that was fine. I did it while I was taking baths, all those Epsom salt baths that you need when you're pregnant. And so that was super helpful. And with that, I kind of would do a visualization of how I wanted my birth to be. Not to say that I thought that it was gonna go exactly like that, because obviously now we all know that it can change drastically. There's no way you can like literally plan your birth, but it's good to have an idea of what you want, like what things can you control. Visualize that. For example, how are you going to react during a contraction? How do you want your partner to talk to you, your doula to talk to you, your midwife to talk to you? Are there certain phrases and words that would really help you get through that moment? How do you want the lighting to be? Do you want to be in the water? Do you want to be in your bed? Do you want to be at a hospital? Like all of these things that could help you have a better idea of what the experience is going to be, because I think a lot of times the scary part is the unknown and not having gone through that. And also hearing all these stories in the back of your head, and you just have no idea what's going to happen with you. So being able to visualize things that you could potentially control could be really helpful, because you are already preparing your mind. How are you going to react in that scenario, as opposed to going into that experience without having any idea of how things work, of what could happen. And then you are left like scared and surprised by maybe things that you had no idea would happen. And so I just think it's really nice to prepare yourself. Along with that, I think learning about the process of labor and birth is really useful, because you know what to expect. You know the transitions your body is going to go through, and not only teach yourself that, but your husband or your partner, the person that's going to help you, needs to know these things. You don't want them to be surprised or scared even when things are actually normal. So it's good to inform everybody. I think it's really helpful, and it takes that fear of the unknown, and you just feel more empowered going into it, and you have a lot of knowledge, especially if you're going somewhere like a hospital. It's good to be informed, knowing what you want, what you don't want, and to inform that to your doctor and provider. My first birth was at a hospital. It was a great experience. I did do a lot of research, and I was able to tell them everything I wanted and what I didn't want, and they really respected that. So it's really nice to be able to know what you want and be able to tell them that. Another thing I did to prepare myself was read positive stories about birth. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth is a great book for that. She has basically, the first half of the book is a whole bunch of positive stories and different stories that happen at her birth center place. Women that came from different places in the world coming together this place and having beautiful stories, but also very different stories. So it's just really nice to be able to hear everything that it could possibly happen, and just surround yourself with positive experience surrounding birth. This is not like the time to ask people about their horrible birth stories, or even let people tell you about them. I would honestly just kindly say no thank you, because this is a time to really protect yourself and your baby. It's a very sacred experience that you're gonna go through, and you just want it to be holy, positive, beautiful, full of love. And even though fear is normal, you don't want more of that coming into you, if that makes sense. So I think it's really good to just surround yourself with good things. Try to avoid those videos or stories that people are trying to tell you. Just really shy away from that and just really preserve yourself, preserve your mental health and your future experience. Anname's Guide to Childbirth is a great video, but you can also just look at YouTube videos. There's many positive birth story videos. I made one as well, and so it's just great to be able to surround yourself. And also nowadays you can see birth vlogs, like you can see positive birth vlogs and like actually see how it happens. That was super helpful for me, because again, it's that fear of the unknown, and I can like see how it went through. You know, you can look for a positive hospital birth, a positive home birth, a positive birth center birth. There's just so many things out there, and it's just great to fill your mind with that positive stuff. Another thing I did was go to a pelvic floor therapist. That was really helpful for me, and I felt really good about going there because I kind of have my pregnancies back to back. My kids are 20 months apart, so I wasn't exercising. I don't think I recovered from that birth, so it was really good to be able to go there and do exercise that would strengthen my pelvic floor. Now, I know that it's probably expensive if your insurance doesn't cover it. Mine did, and that's why I was able to go. But basically what she did there was a lot of exercises for my inner thighs, my legs, my butt, kind of things that would strengthen that area. That's basically what I did every time I went there. And then she just used basically like resistance training for those kind of things. We use a reformer, but if you have like those resistance bands at home and do light exercises like that, I'm sure that would work just as well. So another thing I did that helped me was kind of have a set of affirmations and words that I wanted to tell myself while I was going through labor. This is very personal to each person, I think. Certain things that I heard definitely didn't help me when I tried to apply them when I was going through labor. So having like a different variety of like words or just quick phrases that you can tell yourself. Also, just tell your husband or your partner that you would feel really empowered and good if you heard those things. Your doula. There's actually like 2 Bible verses that my doula sent me that were really helpful, and I'm gonna write them down here, but I don't remember them by heart. Yeah, just words or a Bible verse or some story that went through your mind, an image that helps you. There's so many different things you could do. You could also like write these down and put them, if you're going to go to the hospital, you could glue them on the wall. You could put them in your home, or you can even take them to the birth center. You can do little post-it notes of those things, and I've seen many people do that and it helped them. I didn't personally do that, but yeah. The other thing that helped me during labor, Alec would always tell me to imagine myself a couple of hours from now when I am at home and I'm just snuggling my baby and I'm able to take a nap and I'm able to take a shower, and just really envision myself in that feeling of being home, having this experience be over with, and just being able to hold my baby in my arms. So that visualization while I was going through labor and through a contraction was super helpful. Maybe you could tell your partner to do that too. It was really helpful for me. Another thing I did to prepare myself for labor was eat dates every single day. After I was 37 weeks pregnant, I would eat 6 dates a day. We ate Midgel dates. I don't know what is the other one that you could do as well. There's like 2 kinds of dates that are good for that. Basically, the reason why I ate dates was because apparently there are like some studies on this right now. It seems like eating dates every single day right before you give birth will help the duration of your labor, how dilated you are. There'll be less chance of cesarean and just extra stuff in general. And so there's really good research on it. And also, when I was in my first pregnancy, I was 38 weeks pregnant and I was already at like 3 centimeters dilated, and I did the date thing then too. And if you don't like dates, which I didn't, I hated dates. It was so hard to eat them. 6 of them at a time. I was basically like chewing them and then putting water and just letting it go. I could not taste it. Horrible. But by the end, and unfortunately I only found this out by the end, if you have a little bit of dates with peanut butter, you can barely taste it, a lot better than having it plain. Or you could pit it and put it in your smoothies. It's like a natural sweetener too, so it's a great way to have the dates without having to taste the dates if you are a person that doesn't like dates. Another thing I did to help with pregnancy, this I should have said first because it's food. Obviously we know that your diet is super important, but I had no idea where to start. There's like so many opinions. There are people that are vegan, vegetarian, like there's just so many different things. Personally, I like following more of a quality meats, eggs, and dairy kind of diet. And so for that, there was a great book that my midwife actually suggested, which was Real Food for Pregnancy by Nichols, I think. That was really great. She went into depth as to why you should focus on certain nutrients, where you can find those nutrients. She had recipes in there, kind of like a meal plan for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It was just really great. It was really informative. It was easy to understand. And actually that was super interesting, even though I don't usually read about nutrition like that. She also has a book if you have gestational diabetes. I had that the first time. She has a separate book specifically towards that, so that's pretty cool. Another thing I would suggest for your labor is hiring a doula. That was so helpful for me. I actually didn't consider it until I was almost 30 weeks pregnant because I thought I couldn't afford it. Well, it turns out that there are many volunteer doulas around here in Minnesota at least. And so I was able to get it for free. I thought that was, wow, like what an amazing thing for someone to do. And she was so great. I don't know how I would have done it without her actually, because first of all, you don't know how long your labor is gonna be. So if you're just relying on your partner to, be everything for you, your massager, the person's gonna keep giving you sips of water and food and helping you, empowering you, all of that. And they're probably also not sleeping just like you are. So it's good to have that balance, somebody that can help support you and your partner if they need to go to the bathroom, if they need to eat for a little bit real quick. She's also there to advocate for you. So if there are things that maybe you don't want, first of all, you won't even be thinking about like, oh no, I said I didn't want that, and no, I actually want it this way. Like, she will know all the things that you want and you don't want, and she can be able to advocate for you, for your hospital staff, for your midwives, anybody that you need to. She also, throughout my pregnancy, was helping me, sending me videos of things that I could do while I'm in labor or during my pregnancy. She came to my home and helped me do certain exercises and show me how they were. She was just a really big support. She even came after I gave birth and gave me some food and present for my baby. She was amazing. And so I really encourage you to see if there are any volunteer doulas maybe in your area. I think that would be super helpful, and it's just great to build a relationship with somebody like that. I hope that I'll be able to have her for my other births as well. Another thing I did by the end of my pregnancy was use a birth ball. I had so much intense pain in my lower back and my pelvis because I was just so heavy and I felt crooked. I felt like my bones weren't aligned. So being able to sit on a birth ball alleviated so much pressure and it felt amazing. I heard it's also very good to putting your baby into position, but it's just a great alternative. Apparently, sitting in a reclined position like on the couch or a hard surface like that is not the best when you are at the end of the pregnancy. And so I just would honestly just put the birth ball right by the table and eat dinner sitting on that. Or if I was gonna watch TV, I would sit on my birth ball and keep bouncing on it while I was watching TV. The last thing on my list is something that you can do by the end of your pregnancy. So I wasn't able to do this because I was sick, but if you are able to just be constantly hydrated and nourished by the end, like when you feel like you could give birth at any time. But if you're like me and you have other kids while you're pregnant, it is so easy to just forget to eat, forget to drink water. I did that so much. And so just keep a constant reminder, maybe put an alarm on your phone every 3 hours that you should have a little snack. Every 30 minutes that you should take a drink of water or raw milk or juice or whatever. I think that could be super helpful because once you do go into labor, your body will be prepared and ready to go. I'm sure that if I did that, aftermath of labor would have been a lot easier because I felt so out of it. If I only had felt a little stronger in my body, I probably would have been. And so, yeah, those are all my tips for you. I hope they were helpful. I hope that your birth goes so well. If you're doing it medicated or unmedicated, I'm just sending love to you, good, positive energy for you. I hope it goes so well. I hope that you're happy about how it went. I hope that you feel empowered. I hope that you felt in charge and control of your body. And I'm just so excited that you're gonna go through this. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching another video of mine. I hope to see you around, and I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.